And hey, if you're still with me, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you honest, unfiltered Cowboys content. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about how this team can actually fix its issues, because the problems go way beyond one player. So, if Dak isn't the problem, what is? Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time the Cowboys truly built a complete team? Sure, we've had flashes of brilliance here and there, but let's be honest, this roster has some glaring holes. And instead of addressing them, we end up getting distracted by shiny ideas like a Deion and Shedeur package deal. Think about it. Since Dak and Zeke were drafted, the Cowboys have only selected one first-round offensive weapon, CeeDee Lamb. That's it. Meanwhile, teams like the Eagles and 49ers are loading up their rosters with weapons and depth. We're out here hoping Dak can work miracles with a patchwork offensive line and limited options outside of Lamb. It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to us as fans. Then there's the defense. Yes, Micah Parsons is a beast, but one player doesn't make a championship defense. The secondary has been inconsistent, and the defensive line hasn't been dominant enough to win against elite teams. How many times have we watched our defense crumble in key moments? And let's not forget the trenches. The offensive line, once a cornerstone of this team, is now a shadow of its former self. Injuries and inconsistent play have made it hard for this team to establish the kind of dominance we used to see. So, instead of dreaming about a new quarterback or coach, what if we focused on fixing the infrastructure? Draft smart, invest in the offensive line, build a deeper defense, and get Dak another weapon or two. It's not the flashy solution, but it's the one that will actually work. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you were Jerry Jones, what would you prioritize in the next draft? Offensive weapons, a stronger defense, or fixing the O-line? Drop your answers below. I'll be reading through them. And don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow Cowboys fans. Let's get the word out. This team doesn't need a miracle, it needs a plan. But what about Deion? Is there any scenario where this rumor makes sense? Stick with me, because we'll explore that next. Alright, we've talked about the obstacles and why the Deion Sanders to Dallas rumor seems unrealistic. But just for fun, let's ask, what if? What if Jerry Jones decided to blow it all up and bring Coach Prime to Dallas? Could it actually work? First, let's acknowledge what Deion Sanders brings to the table. The man is a natural-born leader. His charisma, ability to inspire players, and knack for turning programs around are undeniable. Just look at what he's done with Colorado. They've gone from an afterthought to the talk of college football. Imagine that energy in Dallas, with a roster full of NFL talent. It's tempting, isn't it? But here's the catch. The NFL isn't college football. It's a completely different animal. Deion would have to adapt to dealing with veterans who have families, contracts, and egos. Would his primetime persona resonate in an NFL locker room? Or would it clash with the established culture of the Cowboys? And then there's Shedeur Sanders. If Deion came to Dallas, would Jerry Jones feel pressured to draft his son as the quarterback of the future? Shedeur has shown he's talented, but throwing him into the NFL spotlight as a rookie, especially for a franchise as scrutinized as the Cowboys, might do more harm than good. Now, let me throw it back to you. Would you be willing to take this gamble? Bringing in Deion would mean a total shakeup. It could be brilliant, or it could set the franchise back years. Vote in the comments, yes to Deion or stick with McCarthy. Here's my take. While the idea of Deion coaching the Cowboys is exciting, the smarter move is to focus on building the roster first. Get the pieces in place, then worry about who's calling the shots on the sideline. But hey, I'm just one voice. What do you think? Before we wrap this up, make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Help us hit our goal of 12,000 subscribers. It means the world to us. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. That's all for now, Cowboys Nation. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. And remember, no matter what happens, we're still riding with the boys. See you next time.
If we do end up in that coveted top 5 spot, the possibilities are thrilling. Have you heard the name Travis Hunter? If you haven't, let me tell you, this kid is a game changer. A two-way player with insane potential, Hunter could fill multiple holes on our roster. Imagine him playing nickel corner while also stepping in as a slot receiver. Talk about versatility. Of course, there are other names to watch, like Teteroa McMillan and Luther Burden, both dynamic offensive weapons. But here's the bottom line, Dak needs help. Since joining the Cowboys, he's only had one first-round receiver, CeeDee Lamb. It's time to give him another weapon, don't you think? Let's take a quick poll. If you had to pick one position for our first-round draft pick, what would it be? Offensive weapon? Defensive playmaker? Maybe even a lineman? Vote in the comments and tell me why. The draft isn't just about talent, it's about hope. It's about giving us, as fans, a reason to believe that better days are ahead. And trust me, with the right pick, this team could look completely different in 2025. But before we get too carried away with draft dreams, let's not forget what's still happening this season. In the final chapter, we'll wrap things up by discussing what these next few games mean for the future of our beloved Cowboys. Stay tuned. Chapter 5, What's Left of the Season, Building Towards 2025, approximate, 400 words. Here we are, my friend, the final stretch of what's been a roller coaster of a season. With playoffs out of reach and injuries piling up, it's time to shift our focus. These last few games aren't just throwaways, they're auditions for the future. Think about it, players like Jonathan Mingo and Trey Lance now have a chance to prove their worth. Are they part of the Cowboys' long-term plans, or will they be shuffled out in the offseason? Every snap matters. It's a chance for these guys to step up and show they belong on this roster come 2025. Now, let's talk about Mike McCarthy. I know his name sparks strong opinions, so here's my question to you. Do you think McCarthy deserves another shot, or is it time for a fresh start? Drop your take in the comments, and let's see where the fanbase stands. If you ask me, these remaining games could seal McCarthy's fate. If the team continues to flounder, Jerry Jones might finally pull the trigger and make a coaching change. And while change is always a gamble, sometimes it's necessary to reignite the spark in this franchise. But let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. Even in a season as frustrating as this one, there's always something to look forward to. Whether it's seeing young players develop, imagining the possibilities of the draft, or debating coaching changes, being a Cowboys fan is about passion, hope, and loyalty. So here's my challenge to you, what excites you most about the future of the Dallas Cowboys? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments because this community of fans is what keeps the Cowboys nation strong, even in tough times. And hey, before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel and enable the notification bell. We're on a mission to hit 12,000 subscribers, and your support makes all the difference. Let's keep growing this space where Cowboys fans can come together to share their thoughts and frustrations. The season might not be what we hoped for, but the story of the Dallas Cowboys is far from over. Stay tuned for more updates, analysis, and debates as we ride out the rest of this journey together. Go Cowboys!